How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another Genshin video. Today we'll be going to Baizu's story quest. I'm not really that into Baizu, and I really don't think his story is going to be interesting for me. So I brought one of my friends, Pele, who actually got Baizu. So yeah. Honestly, he's just here just to make sure I don't sleep on this video.
And Bernard's man's about to fall asleep on himself.
Yeah, I'm not invested in Baizu at all. So this honestly was on edge of making this video in the first place, and I actually just was planning to stream it. But I guess I'm doing the video.
Yeah.
Probably wandered away from his parents. And
Oh crap though.
Where is this? How
How you been building Baizu right now, Billy?
full HP, the most likely. I haven't built him yet. I'm in the process of leveling him up right now.
Does
But yeah, most
his
likely I'm gonna do.
shield scale off HP?
It does.
Alright, but how does this
yeah.
mechanic work?
So basically, all you do is play Baiju's basically around your. Usually, I guess for me anyway, what I see a lot of people doing is using them as an on-screen driver
Yeah.
for Dendro-related comps. And basically, how he does work is, well, obviously, his skill is just is do Dendro application and a heal beam. And then
She's heal too?
he also have his skill has the heal on it. And
Okay.
the alt is more Dendro application, and it is also do a shield. Actually, 1 second before I continue.
Find him. He said they won't be able to send that many people. So then I figured maybe I can ask some other people in the city to help.
You came to the right place. We're pros at finding people. Isn't that right,
It's
Travis?
been so long since we've done Liyue's story quest too. It's been so long.
Has a good sense of smell, like a dog.
And it's nice that Kiki's a part of it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, my guy.
It's cool.
Yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, the way he does really function, basically all around a 70 passive, yeah, mention 70 passive, it does give him 2%, 2% hyper bloom damage per. It's Hyper Bloom and what? Hyper Bloom and Virgin damage, I believe. Get 2% extra damage for those reactions.
Okay.
Per 1000 HP, you have up to a maximum of 50,000 HP. So if you have
If you really want to push it,
HP,
just like probably run like what's this thing? I guess like what's the setters we using on this on Mika boy?
on the HP set,
Yeah, the 220 piece, yeah, 220%. So you could probably
Yeah,
push it to
I know what
like
you're talking
60
about.
if you wanted to.
My mom doesn't
you could, but I don't think it worth because it is cap out. The passive is cap out at 50 HP.
Also, stop it at 50 exact.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the maximum is, so once you hit 50k, you could get, for that part of the passive, you could get up to 100% Hyper Bloom and Virgin damage, and for other Dendro-based reactions, like Spread and Aggravate, they just only get, I believe, is 0.2%, so it's not as good, but it still does work up to, I believe, is like what, 25%, something like that. I can't remember exactly. I don't feel like doing the math right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I just probably once he also, I will say he does require you to level 90 Baizu because he does get, well, at least Awakening 6 his final ascension.
Yeah.
I will say definitely requires that for the HP he does get from Awakening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then other than that, me, I just gonna get him to 90. Probably gonna run prototype Amber on him because it is buffy healing #1 with the Amber's passive, and
Yeah.
it also have a HP stat on it, which is what he needs, right? So yeah, probably gonna run HP, probably gonna run triple HP on Deepwood and try to get as much HP as possible. Yeah, as for talents, I'm really not sure about the talents, to be honest. Probably gonna go ultimates, so
Yeah.
elemental boost for probably because I'm not sure, but I believe it is get sheep strength when you level it up.
Oh really?
I'll probably go for that. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say even I looked at a couple of people who found him, and even at like with he burst crown, shield's not really that good. It kind of flips.
We searched to the north,
But
but
it's
couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
No, okay. That's good at least.
Complicates things. The
Yeah,
city
but then-
folks say there's no sign of him
I
either.
guess-
I also have
We need to start looking
pretty much
further afield.
unlimited
where
uptime
are
on
we
the
gonna get
shield
them
if you're
people?
running them in a double dendro comp, which I gonna. So,
Excuse me,
Honestly, I
sirs.
think Tavi and he
Have
might
you
be
found
really
out
good on a
anything
team
about my
together.
dad yet?
Ah,
I've
hey there,
seen
buddy.
people run coffee and
Glad to
all.
Baiju. What
know,
brings you out this
And
way?
which character was
The
you know
boy
the
asked
character
for
that he
our help,
actually really
so
good
we're
with
here to
is
join the
actually
search.
Sino.
Any
Sino.
new developments to update
Yeah,
us on?
because he
Oh,
could
thank
apply
goodness.
dendro.
We were just
screen
discussing how we're running
for
out of
a pretty
manpower.
long time.
Yeah.
When-
For updates,
Whereas other characters like
I'm
Nahida,
sorry to say
Nahida
that we've
application
searched the surrounding
is,
area thoroughly, but
she have a lot
couldn't
of
find
dendro
anything.
application, but it
The
requires
guards
it
at
to
the
be on
crossing
screen.
up ahead
Whereas
said they hadn't seen
with
him.
Baiju, you could just
So we
kind
don't
of
believe he was
turn
heading
on the
towards the
ability
boiling
and
Just switch back.
It is
to
possible
Sino.
that he was
Yeah.
back to
and
Luhua
with
Pool.
and because Sino
Luhua
alters
Pool.
such a long
The
duration,
terrain
just
there
like
can be
Ba-
tricky to navigate.
you just
Let's hope
basically
he hasn't
get
run
dendro
into any
application
trouble.
for the entirety of Sino alt, which does
You will.
basically allow you to
Oh,
get
great.
continuous
We can't
spread
thank you enough.
and
Yeah.
aggravate.
Sorry we
Which
weren't
is
able to find your
definitely the
dad,
best.
buddy.
So two of them,
That's
they is
okay.
definitely
Thank you
the
for
best.
trying.
But those two are the best combo for each other, I'd say for sure. I'd say that for me, that is probably the thing I like the most about him is the healing more than anything else. Because for me, I built that, like my first team that I really built was Hyper. And one thing it definitely lacks
Body
is heals, which does make it struggle a little bit in the abyss.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
especially if you're like you're not getting every dodge like perfectly, that type of stuff. Yeah, once you take damage, you're not gonna heal back. Baiju, he does just basically eliminate the need for
Can you hear
because he does heal himself. So yeah,
That's
and
it.
healing is actually quite a lot.
Yeah, I actually think he. Oh, you know what you could use to if you had healing effectiveness, Maiden's Blessing. If you want to go
Yeah.
that road, might be kind of good.
The Maiden's Beloved, I believe.
Yeah,
is what the
Maiden's
artifacts
Beloved.
are called.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Actually,
Yeah, so
maybe
that-
really, yeah.
that's that. Or another thing I might do instead of running triple HP, I might run healing bonus on his the circlet.
Dear customer,
Yeah, I might run
the
healing
funeral
bonus
parlor
on that.
does appreciate your patronage, but you needn't.
I guess it really
Instead of
depends.
HP.
Yeah, I really guess it just depends on how you plan to build him.
Yeah.
Huh? Dad!
But I'll tell you how bad Baiju's story is, though. Huto and Chichi had to pull up in it just to carry.
Who do we have here?
Like, bruh.
I mean, I guess Futao carried, but Chichi, I don't think Chichi carried. That's the
The crazy thing, Chichi, most of the 5 stars, the banner 5 stars,
Hasn't one teeth.
standard banner 5 stars don't have any stories, though. It's crazy.
Director Who for saving
Wait.
this man.
Yeah, that is true. Now that I think of
You
I
recognize
didn't
me?
even realize that till you
Why
say
you-
it.
Yeah, I think what Mona have one,
Yeah, I know Mona has one.
Jean doesn't.
Jean doesn't.
I think the Luke does.
Who am I?
I don't remember. I was looking at it. I don't think the
And
Luke
you
has one
trespassed
either.
Jinxa
Can't remember.
Village. You were supposed to come to Leo
I might be
and
wrong.
see the doctor.
Tanari have one, Dia have one,
Tainari and Dia have one. I think that's just because they are new.
Yukara does, yeah.
Name is
Chichi don't have one. Who else only standard banner? Kaching.
Kiching doesn't either.
That's it though, that, like, it's kind of sad. The state of the characters.
Yeah, I think they just like them those older characters. So like they just kind of drop them and they forget they existed.
Bruh.
So then there's just like what I mean. So like there's like we don't need to carry like make stories for these characters. Been here forever. And, like,
Yeah, but then well, look at this. Baizu been in the game for 3 years and he actually got a freaking story. That is crazy.
I'd say I'm pretty sure it is because he just released, and the story is probably to kind of push sales a bit. Probably.
Most
Me
likely.
personally, I
Don't tell me you
personally
haven't
wouldn't
noticed
care
it.
either way from
Didn't
playing
your
the
master
story.
teach you how to spot the
You know.
signs?
I'm sure they have some
Sense that
secret
you
metric
spotted them
behind the
right away.
scenes that
But your
probably
pointer
says
used
story
it for your
mode.
own
Well,
ends.
the story for characters is push sales or some stupid stuff.
Yeah,
Who's what?
maybe.
What are you talking about?
Well, I even feel like Baiju.
There are
He
traces of
sets,
God
even though like
remains in
kind of
John
decent.
Long's
He like his skill and he burst.
But
I just feel like it don't suit he character and he personality though.
that happens, the consequences
I don't know. I mean, kind of for me, I kind of see it, but kind of do at the same time, like the healing. I mean, he own a pharmacy. It's not like or a clinic.
There's no
So
Yeah.
need to
I
worry,
guess you could look at it
Director
from
Wu.
that
I
standpoint. I
have
say it makes
methods of
sense.
keeping them at bay.
The alt,
It is the
though,
sworn
the shield,
duty
I
of
don't know
all
about
practice
that.
medicine to cure
Like,
illnesses
it is
and
what
I
it
guess
lives.
because he's a Leo character, but like at the same time,
Who's right there in front of me.
I mean,
Besides,
yeah, just lackluster.
Master's dying
for
wish to
me,
be able
I
to
guess,
save
you know what I
his
think it
patient
is?
in
I think
particular.
is like,
Perhaps out of respect
what
for him,
I think what
you
it
could
is,
give
or
me a
the
day's grace
thing that
so
might
I
make
have
some
time to
people
treat
think
him.
he not,
Now you're
or rather
bringing,
that
like,
make them think he
great uncle
lackluster
into
is
this?
simply the fact that
Just what are
um
you planning this time?
like, so when you look at the other
We can
Dendro
cure
5-star
this
units that
man,
come out,
nothing more.
Yeah.
so you look at Al Heatham, Baiju doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as Al.
Oh, for sure.
And then you look at Nahida, who does do, like, he would, like let's say, I would say, like, Baiju is good, but he definitely a lot more niche. Like, you can't use him in as many situations.
Okay.
When you
Yeah.
compare them, it's not really apples to apples comparison. Like, Nahida still, I would still recommend, like, if a new player was asking which Dendro character I should summon for
Nahida.
E3, I would always say Nahida.
Yeah.
And if they have Nahida and they still ask the question, I would always say
I'll
Al.
hate them. Yeah.
But I'd still say if you like the character design, I don't think it's a terrible idea to pull for him. I think he's good enough. I don't think it's a situation where like Dia, for example, where I'd say she's just not good enough to pull for. Like, I'd say even if you like the character,
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend you pull for her. She's just that bad in my opinion. But like,
circulation?
I think he's good enough.
I suppose this must have caused
Yeah, but see, small things tells me they are bad though. She's not really like she was advertised as a DPS, but really and truly she's a defense. She is definitely
Yeah,
defense.
she's definitely a more defensive character, I'd say,
Alright, Baiju.
with she receiving damage
Do you
from.
know when
And I think that is what like caused people to be like, you know, we don't really want Dia.
He's been
I don't know.
like
For
this
me
as long as I can
personally,
remember, but it wasn't as bad
I
as
think
this
is
when
I
he
think
was
what I
so
think it
little.
is too, other than what I just
So it's
pointed
been
out,
a long
Yeah.
is the fact that
No.
you know
I
he
have a
not
treatment
really
plan in mind. We can
how to
start
say, boy.
tonight.
He as
Come
I,
and
it
see
kind of
me
leads
again
back into what I was saying
tomorrow
actually. Now I think
promise that by then
he-
I, you will
he
find
does
this
not
body
as
healthy and lucid again.
OP as Al
Thank you,
Hatham
Dr.
or
Baiju. Thank you so much.
or Nahida.
You
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Misgivings,
both of them when they both come
Please
out.
feel free to hang around.
There was
for
like
as
so Al
long as
Hatham
you
come out.
wish.
He's like, oh, this is the new best Dendro to Nikki.
However,
And then
best if you
Nahida
step
come out, and then she was like, okay, this is now the
Doctor must
Dendro.
be able to focus.
And then Baiju come and is like, oh, he kind of in between there somewhere.
Yeah, he just
Good, though. So I
just-
guess
yeah.
from that standpoint, I kind of understand
Of course, absolutely.
the him being
I'll just go and
lackluster.
look
I
at
kind of
the
understand
hours
it
or
in that
something.
standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
If he don't have any power creep, it felt like I think what it is that it feels like he should have either after Al Hatham or before Al Hatham instead of releasing after
Bye for
Nahida.
now,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Nahida should have been released after him as
Are you ready, Baiju?
Yeah, but the time when Nahida is really just timing when Chikarta was like when Sumeru arc was like in the top phase, you know?
That's what I say. I understand what you mean. I don't mean like how to say. I don't think like I think Nahida come out in the correct time frame, but I think Baiju didn't come out in the correct time.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
he should have come out before Nahida, so that way it's not like okay, this new Dendro unit come out, but he's not as good as the old Dendro units. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think he should have simply come out before them. Is why I say. I think if he had released before, at least before Nahida.
Yeah.
So maybe if he was, I think if he was in Al Hatham time slot, instead it would have been better because like, how to say, he would have been the best Dendro unit at the time because Al Hatham did come out before, right?
Yep,
Unless I
yep.
tripled. Yeah. So he would have been the best Dendro unit at that time. But then afterwards, Nahida would still be better.
Yeah.
And then when Al Hatham come out, say he came out now, he would be better than Baiju, but it would still have the Archon, which is stronger than him. I think that,
From the looks on your faces.
and that way people wouldn't have felt as underwhelmed because I think Baiju is definitely the best Dendro character.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like without Nahida and Al Hatham, he's the best Dendro character for sure.
What was he
none of the Forsters will does compete with him in my opinion.
No, even Tainari. I feel like Tainari very good DPS now.
I think yeah, Tainari is good DPS wise, but he a bit too niche for me. I think because Tainari play Tainari for me is in spread or aggravate teams in my opinion, or just as like a DPS damage character, you know what I mean? Like, but like you can't really use Tainari in like
A Hyper Bloom team or Bujian, yeah.
or Bloom teams. You kind of have to use them in a team where you're using like you know, not spread or aggravate or just raw danger DPS, which he still does good enough DPS, but Tainari
As shown by me.
than him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the relevant know-how
I'd say Tainari just a bit more niche than him, which is why I would say Tainari would be better than Tainari.
Well,
More utility.
Okay.
I guess I've been seeing a trend
Wait, so
a little bit though. It was like every
them.
new area, the first characters always be like DPS for some reason.
Who was also my great uncle.
Cause I believe,
Master was my grandpa's.
yeah, Ayaka was crit damage when she was the first Inazuma character. Tainari was the first Sumeru character, but he was I think charged physical damage, something around there, or crit rate.
Who was it? Who's speaking of?
According to
Maybe?
my
What?
grandpa,
You said Tainari.
Yeah, I think he was the first Sumeru character.
traveling together when they were young.
I'd like to believe so, yes. Like first Sumeru 5-star. Yeah, I think he was.
Pharmacist must
See what again that's like I guess there's always trying to make the first character DPS so people will like the characters that come up after them.
He suddenly announced
Yeah.
he wanted to leave the family business
Which does make sense,
and
but
go practice medicine instead. My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to stay.
no.
So my grandpa inherited
But,
the
yeah.
funeral parlor. And
Anyway,
my great uncle.
His buys are just good as it is.
yeah, personally, I don't think he needed to be better. I don't think so. I think he did
But
enough.
we'll see though. Next banners when they come out, I think it's 3.8. I think buys coming out after Baizu.
Next banner.
Yeah.
Next banner is
It's a
Yaimiko.
bit extreme.
And
If he had just
And then
become a
following
regular
that
doctor,
is
there would have been no issue.
Al-Hitham
After all, the one
and
funeral parlor wasn't
what's his face?
unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the
Kazuha.
early days.
alright, and I'm playing for Kazuha. I honestly would like Al-Hitham.
Pharmacists they met
Actually, I am very happy. Assuming these leaks come true, because obviously these leaks can be disproved. Like they could not happen.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could choose to change it if they choose to. But if these leaks are true and that is the banner release, like that's how the gun released them.
Yeah.
I am very happy because one, I get to skip the next two banners because I don't want, like I wouldn't lie, I wouldn't mind Yaimiko. Yoimiya I'd really care for, but Yaimiko I wouldn't mind getting. But at the same time, I'm not gonna like do more than a 10 pull on her banner, to be honest. So-
It's hard to say.
I could skip that and then I could summon for Kazuha when he banner comes out.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to pull any more until Raiden Shogun. And then after that, I could tell Fontaine I don't care about anything else.
Oh yeah, bro. The Fontaine, I hate the first Fontaine character. Gonna be two characters in one though, which I'm very curious to see how that's gonna work out.
Like two new characters.
Yeah. So basically, is a puppet master. So,
Yeah.
but the puppet alive, and they both. Like it's him and our next character, and two of them in one. So both of them will take one slot. Say
That
it.
sounds interesting as hell.
Yeah,
but so
yeah.
weird.
Well, he's for sure Hydro. Does also make. Is he Hydro? Okay, I'm actually not sure what element he could be, but he looked very interesting to say the least, though.
Sounds interesting to see.
And I hear Fontaine gonna be like London Dog, so you don't know that gonna be like really modern dog in Genshin World, dog.
I'm about to be better at it. I don't even know how to say. I just gonna be as soon as Fontaine come out and try it. If it actually like London,
Yeah.
I'm about to be in there dropping that's King London, you know. Hey.
Now, but like, you know, every area based off a real life place. So like, I think Monsab was more. I want to say it was more French.
Remember me.
Cause like the houses, yeah. I want to say cause honestly, it seemed more like French than anything, dog.
I'm so sorry.
Like a big tower in the middle, a church, the houses all close together.
Has your mom shown up
I
yet?
guess it definitely has some like French looking architecture, so yeah, I can see it.
Well, Leo is obvious. That was China.
I got the Adventurers Guild to
Yeah.
help us look for her. Dr.
Inazuma and
Legend is gonna
Sumeru
help
were very
too.
obvious too. Inazuma was
Right now,
Japan,
all you need to do is
and then
concentrate
Sumeru
on
was
getting better.
Saudi, Middle Eastern.
That's wonderful.
Even the names though could like tell you where they're from exactly though.
No,
So
for real. Inazuma just sounds Japanese.
It's the
Leo
least I
kind of
can do
sounds
to honor my
Chinese.
late
Mondstadt, I
master's
can't really say like
It does
one
sound
way or the
French.
other that
I
it
should
sounds
be
French.
apologizing to you for not making the time.
But at the
to
same
visit all
time,
these
like,
years.
if you told me that it had a place called Mondstadt in
I'll
Italy,
recognize you.
I mean Italy
It's
in France,
only
I'll believe you.
I definitely believe you.
Yeah, but look at Venti design though. Venti literally look like someone from France
I was
though.
not about to say, I was actually
Still in
about
the
to say
early
Venti
stages
though.
of
He
recovery,
definitely
so
looks
you'll need to take it easy
he
for a
definitely
while.
seems French.
Yeah, dog.
like,
Try not to.
Oui, oui.
if you give Venti a French accent, is there a French language that you could change the game to?
I don't think so. No.
Director
I think
Who.
it's
If
only
you
Chinese
could
and
change the
Japanese.
game to French, then yeah, he definitely seems like he perfect French guy to be honest.
After all, you
See Venti pull up with the
really
baguette.
managed to suppress it, huh?
Yeah.
And the next thing too, they like to drink wine.
How did you accomplish
The-
this in a single
The very open up with everything. City of Freedom.
Be a trade
Big hint.
secret, I'm
You
afraid.
know what I mean?
If that gives you any
Giant statue in the middle of the city.
continue to monitor Jialian for
A
as
church
long as
literally
you
right behind it.
wish.
Yeah,
Though I
yeah.
regret to say that
Your friends is very religious, by the way.
offer to reimburse Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Let me see here.
Oh, come on, Baiju. I'm not that unreasonable.
Where is it, Chen?
I don't know. It sounds too sweet.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baiju, take me outside for some air, or I'm going to suffocate.
Chris, what people could do with the elemental powers though? Like Baju literally gives a snake power
Everyone,
to make it be able to talk
excuse
though.
Chang Shang and myself for a moment.
You know, I think that's a pretty cool ability.
It is, but like, does it? How does it work? Does he use the power of Dendro? Just
We
I guess
seriously expect
I guess
the cover
visions
of
are kind of like.
on a brave
I guess you
face
could think of
ignore
visions kind of like chakra from Naruto. I guess.
I guess.
You know, you can use. I guess you can. You know, you can use like chakra in Naruto to do all kinds of weird shit.
Must you
I guess it's like that. I don't know.
everybody?
Yes.
You should at least share your secret with one person.
I
But
mean,
that, but like, yeah, but how?
visions. I kind of get what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
how does it work? That still wouldn't necessarily explain how it works. But I was about to say,
Why did you
I mean,
follow us
visions
here?
is literally miracles performed by gods. Well, not really miracles, but his abilities granted
No.
by literal
It's
gods.
nothing.
For real.
I
So
just needed
I
to get
guess,
some air.
I guess it kind of makes sense that you could do miraculous things with it.
did I
So,
do?
Gods literally have pet dragons and shit though, which is crazy.
like Zhongli just petting Ashtaha.
For real.
The truth is,
And all the adaptai, like, literally all of them is like dragons and
Like weird
he
spirit
transferred
beings.
some of his
So, yeah.
life force to his patient.
yeah, but I don't understand how people even become because like when you watch it, Venti, John Lee, guess Nihida was a branch of the world tree,
Yeah, and then
and she become an Aqua.
Can you please
I don't know. I guess I wonder if it is like so.
My
I don't to say, but I wonder if it's like the original god, right?
Oh, there was four original gods. That was split. Yeah. So it's like the creation of all things was split into four different gods.
Wait, like imagine like the original beings or gods or whatever. They were just like, okay, this random branch, use our god. And this random stone, use our god. This patch of the wind, you are now a god. You imagine that? That would be so funny.
Using
Yo.
Chang as the
And I believe,
this was
yeah, Raiden was human.
for a limited
Yeah, I believe Raiden was actually a human.
Yeah, and she was even the freaking Electro Archon dog. She's sister, and then she said go get clapped, and then she become Archon.
strange choice
You know, funny thing. You know what was not really funny, but you know what I think would be interesting for someone to do is, so I don't know if you know, but like Destiny, right?
Yeah.
There's a thing in the Destiny community where I guess it's not really, it's like it's like a genre like or of people that does
Whoa.
or a community of people rather that does basically do story-based content
Please,
only.
that's enough.
Right? So like they don't really care about like having the most optimal stuff or stats or nothing like that. They just do
I was saying that the brains of
everything
medicine
story based.
studied uses
It like in the game, they just like basically try to find every story bit now,
When you
right?
transfer your life
And
force,
that is
does
post. So
that
you have
work
this one guy on YouTube, or a
damaging
couple
your own
people
body?
don't do it at this point.
Hardly.
That he basically went
Sharing
and
food
find.
helps to keep my
He
chi
basically
in
went
balance,
through the
so
game
there is
and
no harm
learned
done.
absolutely everything about the story that was possibly able to be found throughout
find a way to
one the game
neutralize
and
the
basically
poison
anything the
in Jenny's
developers
body.
and writers at the game ever said basically, and create a complete in chronological order storyline of Destiny. So like basically how the Destiny universe began to how where we currently are now, all the events leading up to that we know about leading up to the current timeline now. I think it would be really interesting if somebody in the because I should have people who like that in the Genshin community as well.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the Genshin players who they still play religiously does play for story. Alright, so yeah, I think it would be pretty interesting if somebody could make a video like that, because I definitely should, to be honest.
Yeah.
Paimon doesn't think we've seen
That type of stuff would be quite interesting to me. I'd
There
definitely
is
watch some.
there is one theory, you know, the Blessed, the Welkin, right? The little characters is like drop the little primo thing and open the book.
Yeah.
So basically have a theory
Poison in
of
Gileon's
that
system
lady
must have
being the
accumulated
one
over a
who like
prolonged
reading the
period.
story of us,
think I
who's
should
like the
pay a
god
visit to their
above. Because remember, everybody powers come from constellations, right?
Been exposed to
Yeah.
And she basically like the guide of constellation, and that is why she like always like opening this book and reading and everything. Even when you go in the Genshin archive, is a book.
I asked Ayu
So
this
people
morning.
think like she's like the god of information or some shit like that. One of the four major gods that break off from the
They're together once I've asked
from the
Wei and
one big
Chi-Chi
god
to
that
look
make
after the
everything, I guess.
pharmacy.
So this is that
As
speculation.
well as investigating Jialiang's
Interesting.
exposure
Yeah,
to
but
the
also
poison,
though, then have the
we should also
for
keep
two
an
we
eye
arc
out
though.
for Ayu's
Then have the
missing mother,
arc arc. Then
my
have
fellow disciple,
the
Jiali.
main arc of the story, which is dealing with the sister of the main character or the brother of the main character though.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot to cover, but honestly I think the one that really like hits the spot the most for me is 100% the main story out or like the tension between Aether and is like and Lumine. So like amazing though. Just like figuring out how she survived the war and how Aether like how she be like I ain't even know you remember I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't done the whole thing, but I've started it. At least.
Oh, you reached probably like he every really big secret.
Nah, I haven't yet, but I hear a bunch of people talk. So it's quite a lot.
Yeah, but she basically think that the people who create the heavenly principles, which is what give Archons the power during the war,
Yeah.
is outsiders from the world, which makes sense. It makes sense why they were so strong in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
Our next heavenly principle, our next outland that was I think that was only 4 or 6,
It's so well hidden. Paimon's never noticed
and
it before.
well, Aether was definitely the last
Nor
one.
have I. And I've
But all
heard
those who
critics
came
at
before him,
Kingside
though,
Village many
they
times in the
literally might
past,
show up.
if you
One of them
ask
might be the
me.
witches, which is
Gianni was trying
one of
to
Clean Mother.
remain
You remember like the witches and them who like
Yeah, I remember. I remember
Like,
that storyline.
yeah.
Yeah. Was talking.
Earlier,
one is Mona Master, one is Clean Mother,
here.
and all of them have like the scatter around the road and just hiding.
You said
Yeah.
she was
That's
your
literally
fellow
some
disciple.
zero shit right there, by the way.
She was indeed.
Bro.
We studied medicine together.
So
under the
it
same
have real
master
things
near
that like
Chang Vale.
like we don't know, but we getting there. You know what I mean? Like we getting
Also
close to it
began
though.
her travels
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
far
Like,
away.
I think it would be that what I was saying. It would be interesting. I mean, I guess at some point in the future, when the story a lot closer to completion, somebody might do that. But yeah, for now, it would be really interesting to see. Because like I've seen like some people do just like conspiracy theories about the story. Like for example, like people talking about who they think the original god was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact like so like those type of things I find really interesting, but also too lazy to try and find it myself.
For sure. But I definitely know to say that I think in 14 you're gonna be using the boat a lot to travel because most of the areas is water.
Some sort of quarrel.
Yeah,
We never
I mean that
heard
makes
from her
sense.
after that.
Hydro-based
It
area.
almost seemed as if she'd gone.
But the
abandoned.
arc that I've like so invested in, like what I want to see, is the
I don't know. I did
let's
not
see
witness
who
that
we have
argument
left for.
myself.
We met the Electro, we
Did
met
Master
Stenro,
ever
there's the
say
Hydro
to
Cryo.
All he would
Pyro.
say
And that's
is
it.
that should I ever
Yeah,
encounter
Yeah,
the
I
army
want
or
to see
her
the search,
family
so
in the
dog,
future,
the
I
Futui
should do
leader.
everything in my power
Yeah.
to help them.
I want to see this guild, cause like she won definitely gonna end up with she fighting heavily principles, dog. And I know for a fact we gonna end up helping she, dog.
Even if my master had never said anything,
Even though the Futuis got both things wrong, they still have a just reason for what they're doing,
my
then.
decision would have remained the same.
I guess.
And I can see why they're so desperate to actually gain all this power quickly because
Never knew you were
fighting
so
a heavenly principle that stands above the entire world
always had you
will
down
take a lot of power, dog.
Sneaky,
Bro.
sneaky type.
Even listen to this weird shit, right?
So a few words
So,
from me
they
is
said
enough
that
to
the
dispel
top
all
5
your suspicions?
In the Harbingers are strong enough to fight gods themselves, archons themselves, right?
Yeah.
However, that is still not enough to be the heavenly principles, dog. Hear how that song
Yeah,
that.
because the Archons themselves
Okay, that was
were
the most
created by
suspicious
heavenly
sounding thing
principles,
you've
so
ever
it makes
said.
sense.
Bro, like, that's
Let's
that.
leave the
But the thing
idle
is that
chatter
baffles
there
me,
for
though. The
now.
fucking Archons very strong, dog. And you telling me
has lived
have
with
5 of
us
them
for
on
many
par
years.
with the
There must
Archons,
be
dog, in the
With the
prime.
Can shed a
Archons.
little light on
And you
this
telling me
whole
they still have somebody stronger than them,
situation.
dog?
Split up. But if
It's
anyone
looking crazy to
finds
think
out,
about, to be
we'll
honest.
examine
I say
it
no.
together.
Men was creating islands from just fighting, dog. And you telling me that people strong
I
enough?
ain't gonna lie, the more I think about it, it's really crazy. But at the same time, I could definitely see it, dog. I mean, cause like, just look at Child, dog. This man, bro.
Oh yeah, he's the weakest of the boil.
Yeah, that was dog what I'd say, and he's not even close to one of the strongest, dog. And just look at him, just that power, that the level of difference in power he just get just from transforming.
Yeah.
Imagine the higher level, nigga.
Dog, I didn't even want to know what Jester could do, dog.
But these guys probably just insane.
Dog, like Doctor, he's number 2 and he could alter time and stuff. Like what, bro? This man literally had visions of himself from different timelines in his own timeline, dog.
Crazy. Just thinking about it more, I ain't gonna lie. So once, I mean, this is something I just say about a like it.
You sense it too?
I wouldn't
You're right.
mind seeing like an anime about Genshin. It would be interesting.
Well, they're really trying to of it. When they make that anime, gonna be real sick, dog.
Is it?
It'd be really interesting, to be honest.
Paimon's not saying
But from what I've seen, the animation like so well
eyes
done
do not deceive
that
you.
they're doing a first season,
Poison in
and if they
this
want to keep that
bottle
level of quality, they're gonna be showing in the first episode. We're gonna take a good
I ain't gonna lie.
couple
It would take
resources.
I think it would
Some
take a lot
toxins act
of
a lot
budget,
like living
but at the
organisms.
same
I read
time,
about this once in the
I
origins
think-
and symptoms of diseases.
I think Hoyolab
This
have the
ancient
budget
class of
considering the
poisons
fact that
consists of
Genshin make
mother
over $1 billion
and minor
in
loads,
revenue in just
capable of
the yeah,
sustaining a
load.
connection
for sure.
over vast distances.
I think they have
If
the
it's a
budget, I ain't gonna
concoction of
lie.
this kind,
They could definitely do it, dog.
then both the poison
They could
and
definitely do the
Giallinon
only.
system
I ain't
and
gonna
this
lie,
one
dude.
here
This is
are
one
likely
thing.
minor loads.
As much as like,
Offshoots,
I
essentially.
will say like,
offshoots?
it really kind of irks me a bit,
the main
but at the same time, I could understand why a lot of people,
Correct.
including
Whoever
myself,
is
does do it.
administering the poison
Is
can manipulate
that
the
does hurt
source
anime
to
a lot
indirectly
and
control the
is
poisoned
pirated. I ain't gonna like
individual's
pirating does
behavior
hurt
and even
anime so much, eh?
Similarly,
But at the
the
same time, I
poisoned
could understand not
individual
wanting to
here
pay for
at
something
varying
like that.
extent
Oh, for sure.
the call of the source.
You understand? I mean,
Even-
that I just even do it myself, but like, jeez, but
They
it
don't
is
call
crazy.
allegedly.
That explains
No, I don't have to allege anything.
Fuck, but let's just say from jail time.
Nah, they can't do
Only
that
one
to me.
thing
They
you've
won't
been drawing
do
in
that.
there. The source of the god remains used
Nah,
as the poison's
but I mean,
ingredient.
you know, I mean,
The mother
like,
lode.
just seeing that so many people just pirate,
is getting
it
crazy.
really does hurt me. Like, at the very least, it doesn't necessarily stop anime from getting like happening at all, but it does definitely hurt the likelihood of like a season 2 and season 3 of for a lot of anime.
Was carefully hidden away in his secret
Because like when you spend
The one
like
who concocted
a couple million to
likely
drop a whole
received the
season, because you know to get top quality anime like let's be real, something like
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, I sure they just drop at least in the low to middle range of millions
Here.
to freaking drop a Demon Slayer season.
In crafting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if Demon Slayer, like the manga and the other stuff that they just sell, if it wasn't so popular, Demon Slayer would not get a second season, even regardless of how good it is.
Facts.
I agree.
So,
Unless maybe the partner was like a big
Jiangli does not
streaming service.
somebody that would sponsor the creation of the series. But other than that, that is the reason. If you go back, a lot of series, especially back in the day, don't have a second season because
It's
they
too
just
early to
didn't.
draw
They,
any
like they perform well,
We should
but like
question
they just
Jiangli
didn't have the
on
financial
he has made
backing
more
due to like
progress in his recovery.
pirating and just not having enough merchandise sales.
Good example.
In order to
Is Hunter x Hunter and Hit Mary Bone. Did so well, but they just can't get next season.
Oh,
Yes.
that another
According to
prime
the
example of a
origins and
series.
symptoms
Yeah,
of
which is
diseases,
another prime example of a
mummy
series that
will
did
disappear if
really
the
well.
mummy is purged.
A lot of people love
So
it. I
if we
mean,
can
a
find
bit hit or
and
miss for
destroy the
some,
source of these
but a lot of
guidelines,
people
the
love
poison will leave
Chivalry of a
Jiangli's
Field Night,
system
where the
without
second
the need
season
for any further
never happened because
Do you know anything
the
about
series was well
guideline
loved
teachings
in
of
the
it?
anime community by everybody who pirated it. Yeah, understand. And it being like a more niche series didn't have these type of sales like a Naruto or Bleach or One Piece have in terms of merchandise, so it just didn't get a second season.
Oh, bro, I even want to talk about Naruto connections. But that game looked like such a failure
Good terms
already.
I have mixed opinions on that. I think we discussed it already, but like I personally think the game looks kind of nice. Like obviously looks the same as Storm 4.
No, it's way better graphics. Way better graphics.
Obviously, like the graphics itself, that was gonna say is like an improved version of Storm 4 visually, but it seemingly doesn't have too much on top of the formula.
By now.
Plus, is like the old story. Well, the story of all the games.
Yeah, but they basically remake all of them. But at the same time,
like some pretty
I kind of understand where some people coming from with saying that it just doesn't seem like it's a game with that much, like with a full $60 or $70, whichever they're charging for it.
you're basically paying for a reworked story of all the games and 4 new characters that we've seen so far.
So
And
far, it
that's
could be
it.
a lot more than 4 characters, but for me, I'd say I don't want to say like for 100% with, but like for me, I think it would, to be honest. I don't
know, man.
I can't say it's something I would necessarily buy day one or nothing like that. I'll probably like, though I will say if it goes on sale or when it goes on
The
sale.
only thing that'll actually get me
None
to
of
buy
the
that
hosts have ever been
is
exempted
2
from these
things.
rules.
One is that they implemented new mechanic into the game that should do for every storm.
Funny enough that you say that, they actually already have a new mechanic. Not a mechanic like, how to say, it's not an active mechanic like something like leader switch that come out in Storm 4, the ability to switch characters mid-fight. It's not something like that. But there is new fighting mechanics in the fact that now you can actually combo people off the ground. You can OTG in the game. Whereas in Storm 4 and every previous Storm game for that matter, cannot OTG. Once you knock somebody down, it is going to recovery and you can't hit them anymore. No.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
I'm not sure
calm down.
to what extent,
Back
but
to the
at least
matter
in the
at hand.
first trailer for
Is there any
Naruto
way at all for us to
and
seek counsel
I
from
guess
the Adepti about
time
this?
skip plus Boruto Sasuke, I don't know what they can call it. Probably just gonna call him Sasuke, like Boruto Sasuke or something.
Probably.
Yeah. That's the new version of Sasuke. In that trailer, you could see them picking each other up off the
On the
ground.
ground, yeah, I did see that as well.
So I guess that in itself gonna change the game a lot. So another thing I see them doing is removing a lot of
We are truly
infinites.
fortunate to have you
So
on
you know
our
how,
side.
for example, like if you was kind of slick with it back in the day, you could
Yeah.
do infinites with shuriken, like just do with some. So you basically find a character that have low recovery frames on the move, and then you could do like jump shuriken and just get infinite combos. Yeah, that's not gonna be a thing anymore. Well, at least supposedly. They say they're not gonna, they're trying to remove that from the game by giving characters more recovery frames and stuff like that.
Rising out of thin
Yeah.
air like this?
But obviously, you know, it might have one or two characters that might just get by that.
It's
so
you.
you never know. But for the most part, Infinite's not gonna be a figure.
I do believe I've had the pleasure before.
But it gonna have cooler combos due to
When we met
G's.
briefly, I was unaware.
And
of your
another
true
thing is too,
identity.
so
I
I actually did a little bit of research. I didn't even saw.
You two
I
already
think it's
know
Club
each
Crew
other.
posted a video on it talking about like
Lost once before.
the like things he want to see in the game.
Yeah.
Because there was somebody like him, he does host Storm tournaments to this day. He go in and get the
That's what you
game,
called me?
you know, because
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
upgrade from Storm 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he one of the things he talk about being obvious, the obvious one, netcode.
Oh yeah, bro. That's the second thing I was gonna say. I want a better netcode.
What he says, like, this is something I obviously knew and I said at one point when we were talking about the game, is that the rollback don't really work in arena fighters that well, or at least it's yet to be proven that it does. However,
Except for there is one exception,
Village.
which is
My Hero. My Hero will have really good coding.
it doesn't have rollback.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have rollback, but netcode coding is very good.
Netcode is a really good delay base. So if they could, like, that's the one thing I hate about the games being developed by CC2. They have so much good stuff at CC2 in terms of like the mechanics are pretty good. They have really good, like, the animations are pretty top notch, I'd say. Everything about it pretty nice. Except
and barely detectable.
two things I'd say CC2 does what did terribly in the past anyway. And I really hope changes. One is obviously, as we said, netcode. I really want to see some banging delay-based netcode. I don't want to see this stuff where I match you and we basically lagging from one end to the other screen, at the other side of the screen, trying to chapter dash at each other. That's terrible. And two is I want to see a way improved rank system and lobby system.
For sure.
The rank system in this game is so terrible. You can just run in and play a trash player with no wins for infinite amount of time, and you will eventually be the highest rank you could possibly be, which is stupid. And two, the lobby system is pretty bad. Like for tournaments, it's kind of okay because you could just have a bunch of people and you could have match spectating and stuff like that with some modern game.
That's some concrete info to go off of.
But
If the
it's still not
goblins are
like the only way you could get the spectate matches is if you do a tournament. You can't do it. You can't skip turns easily. That type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to see that
Find the
improve.
cave.
But yeah.
Master.
I hope that the kids anyway.
There's a
With that
problem.
said, I'll be back. I'm gonna do something real quick.
Alright, well.
Away from Boo Boo Farm.
Yeah.
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
So far, the story has been, again, lackluster with other characters needing to support it. I honestly don't think this is one of the best stories they've done. Honestly, kind of just feels worse in terms of how I would rate most of the stories I've done for this channel.
Should have been fine for the
I
next
haven't been paying
7 days.
attention, I just haven't been talking to my friends. But again, this is why I thought this honestly would have just been a stream.
Boo Boo Pharmacy now.
But yeah, this is just really lackluster, man. The story feels so cliched, and the fact that it needs to rely on other characters to carry it kind of says a lot. Yeah. Overall, it just kind of sucks.
Time to act.
Dad, what's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baishu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
Also, my name was actually played as Baiju, because they always let you play as the characters in their stories.
Can't even get a full word out anymore.
We're not even close to that.
When Gui left, he was still conscious. But now...
Kui, please take Jia Liang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
This story just lacks so much.
Baishu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he?
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, I can't explain it, but somehow I feel even better than usual. Wait, where's Dr. Baiju? I still haven't had a chance to thank him. Seems he moved me here before I came to.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly with Jiang Li once we find her. Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Boo Boo Pharmacy for now. I can accompany Ayu to the Adventurers Guild.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baiju in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he... Huh? Hey, wait up!
The story lacks so much.
Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too risky, even with me here to help you balance your chi.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. I managed to learn something. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, if only there wasn't a catch.
So, how much longer do you think Baiju's gonna nap for? They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least go and show our faces?
All right.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just... Who's talking behind our backs again? Ah! Baiju! Changsheng!
Are you both okay?
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Changsheng's help, I will recover in time.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang is in fact suffering from more than one ailment, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to manage his underlying medical condition. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated,
This is all
it
like
puts the
Chinese
patient at risk
medicine
of coughing
stuff.
up blood and fainting, and in the longer term, causes irreversible damage to the internal organs. Though it was created from god remains, This formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather, it's his medication.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his system, it began to impact his cognition. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy, or he could have still perished at any moment.
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiang Li has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jia Liang's life, Jiang Li has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this is the inevitable course of fate. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible. Whatever the cost may be.
Well, I think that it's too early to say with any certainty what fate has in mind. In any case, I have stabilized Jia Liang's condition for now, so our immediate priority should be to get ourselves back to Qingsa village and find out where Jiang Li is. Her regular exposure to God remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
Oh, you heard.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
It's Jiao Liang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything already.
Dr. Baiju, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk for Jiang Li's sake. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but at the very least, I can show you the way. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart. For your own safety, you should stay here and rest.
No! We're out of time! We have to go now, before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue, so why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Dr. Baiju, are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet.
Dr. Baiju, do you mean?
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Okay.
Alright, let's go. Damn, that is kind of far. I think we're close to the story's end, but I will see. Again, this has been completely boring, to say the least. It's not been really that interesting of a story. And to be honest with you, I didn't really expect much from this. So honestly, we're just kind of clearing this up at this point. I guess here we go again.
That strange feeling is back. It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me somewhere. The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source is in? I think it's this way. Yes.
Alright, let's go.
I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
Dude, just go somewhere.
There is an inauspicious presence here.
Are they gonna do the main
I
thing?
can sense it. I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still waiting for me. Then let's hurry.
Yep, it's the main, right? That's okay. I guarantee we're gonna get Baiju to play in this. It's been a while since. No, actually, it's not been a while. Usually, it does kind of end with the domains.
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead? The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. I suspect it is a thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before. Maybe it was the treasure hoarders that dug this tunnel.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without even stopping to pack up their tools? I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she'd found a way to save me in this cave. But she said that the method would cause me to, curses. Why can't I remember what she said? Easy, Jialiang. Come on, let's keep going.
Alright, well, here we go.
A bitter pill to swallow. Stabilize. Mind the side effects.
Whirling snow. Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause we did run into that group of monsters just now.
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what prompted the treasure hoarders to flee and abandon their designs on this cave. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity to save Jia Liang's life, albeit as a last resort. That's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiang Li. Yes, This was the place. This is where I told Young Lee to give me the poison. I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. She is right below us, waiting for me.
Oh, interesting. It's kind of cool though. Design is alright.
I can feel it. We're getting close.
What is this?
There. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
Aha! We can keep going now.
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Really? They're gonna have me pulsing right now? Wait, it looks like a pretty simple puzzle anyway. This does. Oh. This doesn't look like the right way.
Solidify. This is order.
My will and body. No, my sword.
Stabilize.
Taking a turn for the better. A bitter pill to swallow.
The death juice.
Take flight. Rain outlines your fate. No, my son. My apologies.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Pretty cool. What's the purpose of this room though? Oh. Let's see. Push here. I need to activate this. And push. Guessing push it all over here. Strange.
Body and mind.
What use does this one have? Oh, there you go. That's simple.
Time to act.
No, doesn't look good.
Jolie!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
Fitting. Transfigure it. Coming satellite. Soretsu.
Alright, that's it. That didn't take long.
Dr. Baiju, how serious is it? Is she... I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition. much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away! It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baiju said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect. And the poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under control. So, if it stops working, oh no. Are you
Also, that she lives or he lives.
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our Baiju. You're a great doctor. Surely you gotta know of some other way we can save him, right?
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiang Li, maybe if we put our heads together, we can think of something?
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness. Maybe it's her greatest wish that you will continue to take it and live.
Dr. Baiju, give it to me straight. How long does Jiang Li have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her using a secret art...
But what would be the point of it, Dr. Baiju? I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiang Li have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out and wreaking havoc not just upon me, but my entire family. I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see IU grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis. If my choice can bring Jiang Li back, then even if I die...
Jialiang.
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baiju, could I have another minute with my wife? I just want to have one final moment together. Just a moment.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to repay your kindness in this life.
Jialiang. Baiju, Changsheng. Is there really nothing else you can do?
I am sure that over the years, Jiang Li will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's secret art.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiang Li would not have had to resort to unnatural methods. What a crazy situation! Jiang Li risked it all to save Jialiang's life, and now Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiang Li! What's the point of it all?
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die for a worthy cause? At least, that's what generations of masters before you have always believed.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. And he even got the Adventurers Guild to search for you. So I know that you'll both be okay without me. I've said my goodbyes. My time has come. Do what you must.
As you wish.
Cutscene maybe? Usually, no cutscene.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you and watch Ayu grow up.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise you, nothing will happen to our family.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter we cling to what we have. Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Jialiang! 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 Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me?
Did you turn into a zombie?
Dr. Baiju, I thought that I was going to...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I'm as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qingce village?
Oops, and I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiang Li in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad. When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baiju, and cure Dad for good.
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng Funeral Parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone? All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion.
Such as?
At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baiju, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baiju, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside?
Oh, I'm playing this, okay. They do that a lot? No, they let you play as the characters in the story. That's kind of cool. Or a different perspective and all that.
Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Shenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baiju.
So you want to stop at the bridge, maybe? Yep.
I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually arrived at the same approach. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained by intellect alone. Baiju, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you might have... What am I saying? I'm in no position to criticize you for this. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another, and then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way as our master before us. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the cost? Maybe our fate is sealed the moment we decide to study medicine.
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changshang to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that, some of them, I don't even recognize. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from Chenyu Vale believes in the same thing.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us. The traveler taught me a load of new recipes and said even Dad'll be able to taste them. Come and try them out.
Yes,
Yo.
darling.
Yo, what's
Mom will
going
be
on?
there in just a second.
The man's living.
Yep, let's start recording.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, it's take a long time to record these Genshin videos.
But
Makes sense.
get
What's the end though?
if one day
Alright.
I'm not around anymore.
I'm finna be here.
Chi-Chi,
I'm eating on none, but I'll be a bit silent. I'm watching an anime
Fond
episode.
of you.
Eating enough.
Would.
They will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you helps people live longer.
It is a very long story.
Finally, a cutscene. Jeez.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only
then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patient's? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
That's cool, I guess.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world filled with pain and suffering.
So, Baiju, does that mean...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison poison? And what makes a disease a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want
Though I really want to say manga and everything that very
contract. Nor do I wish for Changsheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Changsheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, Baiju.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Dr. Baiju, Traveler, What are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon. Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten. I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and mind.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
And that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed this. To say the least, it was very lackluster. Even at the end, the cutscene wasn't really all that. Kind of sucked the old tradition of Leeway cutscene just being a bunch of like flashes and stuff. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.